recording again?
We are.
All right. So I'll go ahead and call the third session of the Therapeutics Committee meeting to order for August 1st, 2025. Consistent with past actions of the Therapeutics Committee, we will take Optum's recommendation as a consent calendar. So the recommendations of Optum have been presented this morning. What I would invite are members of the committee to extract items from the consent calendar that they wish to discuss further. Items that are not extracted will be voted on block for approval or not approval. So I would invite committee members to extract items. Okay. I will extract A2, beta adrenergics and corticosteroids. Okay. I'm not hearing any other extractions at this point. Okay. Could I have a motion to approve the recommendations from Optum minus A2, beta adrenergics and corticosteroids?
So moved.
Okay. Does not require. Okay. Thank you. Very prompt. Any further discussions regarding the recommendations or other discussions from this morning? Okay, hearing none, we'll go through roll call.
Dr. Shaw,
Aye.
Dr. Marshall, Dr. Marshall,
Aye.
Mr. Musial,
Aye.
Dr. Ah. Aye. Dr. Patel,
Aye.
Dr. Weber.
Aye.
All right, we have all ayes, so that motion will carry. Thank you.
Okay. So we have on the agenda A2, beta adrenergics and corticosteroids. We heard discussion this morning from Dr. Dubé
Dr. Coates.
and Dr. Coates. Dr. Dubé from AstraZeneca and Dr. Coates as a pulmonologist. I think Dr. Coates is obviously very passionate regarding the care of his patients. What I see here is having reviewed the data presented in the second session, and having reviewed, I'm not too familiar with Gina as I'm not a pulmonologist, but I did have a chance to take a look through some of the recommendations. I definitely understand where Dr. Coates may be encountering some of the difficulties regarding accessing Air Supra because as the product contains a corticosteroid, we've been trained for many years as considering this class as well as the delivery mechanism that the budesonide would be a controller medication. So I think the issues are a little bit broader than what we are able to address in the Therapeutics Committee here. So I might invite a motion to support Optum's recommendations regarding this class, but I would probably ask an Optum, FSSA, as well as a DR board to maybe work with our partner MCEs regarding maybe educating their staff regarding this, I guess, a different approach to inhaled corticosteroids. Because
we'll make sure once he sends examples, we'll review and see what's maybe coming across.
Yeah. Okay. So I would invite a motion to support Optum's recommendation regarding this class.
So moved.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussions regarding this class? I don't know if Dr. Coates is with us. Okay. All right. If Dr. Dubé, who's AstraZeneca, can maybe relay some of the discussions today. All right. Any further discussion? Okay. We'll proceed with the roll call.
All right, Dr. Shaw.
Aye.
All right, Dr. Shaw.
Aye.
Dr. Marshall. Dr. Marshall.
Aye.
Mr. Musio.
Aye.
Dr. Ott.
Aye.
Dr. Patel.
Aye.
And Dr. Weber.
Aye.
We have all ayes, so that motion carried and is approved. Thank you.
So we've completed the review of the therapeutic classes for the August meeting. I think we're ready to proceed to public comment.
Yes, so if there is anyone who was previously registered during the first session that wishes to provide additional public comment at this time, if you want to either raise your hand in the chat, speak. I see Dr. Rosemarin with Ebglis has his hand raised, so we will let you have some time.
Thank you for the opportunity to publicly address this committee. David Rosemarin, a dermatologist who treats many patients who suffer from inflammatory disorders of the skin, including eczema. And I'm speaking as a citizen rather than on behalf of my employer. People who have atopic dermatitis suffer tremendously. They can have intractable itch that keeps them up all night. They can wake up with blood on their sheets from all the scratching. Even the touch of clothing can be uncomfortable to patients. I've treated people who've had to drop out of school due to inability to focus from their disease. We're lucky to have some treatments that can relieve suffering and greatly improve the quality of life of eczema patients. As a provider, I would like to use options that are most effective and best meet my patients' needs. Not everyone responds to our traditional and currently covered therapies, and it can be frustrating for patients if they suffer for longer periods because they're forced to trial a medication that is not the best fit for that individual. My goal as a caregiver is to advocate for those whom I look after, and that's why I'm here to support the addition of medications such as lebrikizumab to be covered. I remember the hugs from subjects who were in the early clinical trials receiving lebrikizumab. I've seen firsthand how it has changed people's lives and given them renewed spirit. Simply put, they have the potential to help many of my fellow Hoosiers. I would greatly appreciate if we had access to prescribed medications using shared decision-making for what patients and caregivers believe are the best agents. So thank you for your time and consideration.
Yeah. So if I can ask, so Ebglis is being moved from a non-preferred two-step position to a non-preferred one-step position with a step through either ADBRI or a trial of a 45 days of a topical drug of one of the following, being corticosteroids, tacrolimus, pimecrolimus. Do you feel that's burdensome with one of those two options?
For some patients, yes. If a patient is covered head to toe in eczema, then they're really suffering, and
Sure.
certainly topicals won't cover it. And
Okay.
I know that as a provider, most of my patients would prefer a medicine that's more effective at
Sure.
relieving their symptoms.
Okay.
And there are treatments out there, lebrikizumab, dupilumab as well, that would be better suited for that first line option.
Would ADBRI be an inappropriate first trial?
I would support that that basically patients and caregivers have the options to use with what they see as best. And when we present the data on the efficacy of ADBRI versus Ebglis or Dupixent, I think it's fair to say that most of my patients And I as well would prefer the options that are more effective to relieve their suffering and not make them go through a trial of a medicine that is less effective.
Adbury has the same mechanism of action as Ebglyss. Like they're exactly the same mechanism of action as far as how they work.
Yes, they're both IL-13s, and then also Dupixent and Adbury are also advocated in the AAD guidelines and American Academy of Allergy and Immunology. So
They have very similar mechanisms blocking IL-13. They're not exactly the same because one blocks the decoy receptor, the other does not. And that may be, but we don't know why, but the efficacy rates are not equivalent.
So have you spoken with the manufacturing representatives about this? Because we don't seem to be making any headway ourselves on some savings that Adbury offers, and sometimes it helps to have, we pull on our end, but if you can push on your end and say, hey, try to play a little bit with the state on this, so that we can, because the differences are substantial, or we wouldn't do this because we always think about the clinical first. But we would love if you would kind of push on it when you talk to the representatives on your end to see if they might be a little bit more involved in the supplemental rebates for the state.
Right.
We'd love that.
Yeah, because the T committee consists of clinical practitioners as well as pharmacists. So we all have contact with patients, and I think we're all very sympathetic to the concept of having sort of open access to everything. The part of the function of the T committee is to review the proprietary financial data and implications for the state. So, we will do our best to open access as broadly as possible, but as Mr. Ross said, we need to, we would appreciate your efforts as well with working with manufacturers to try to help improve the potential financial implications for the state.
Understood, and thank you for your consideration.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then what's the expected trial duration for Adbury for the step edit?
We don't have a trial duration, so I think it's just the one.
you just have to try.
Yeah, and either
Right.
Adbury or Dupixent, which are both recommending in guidelines. Not to say if Bliss won't be there eventually, it's just, it hasn't been updated in guidelines yet. So it's currently the two that we have available or the two that we have recommended. So there isn't anything that says a certain period of time they can trial Adbury and do it. And if it doesn't work in that initial period, or Dupixent and that doesn't work in that initial period, then certainly that would qualify.
Right. Yeah, the hurdle is not intended to be high. Okay. All right. Any further comments, discussions?
Anybody else from the public that was previously registered that wishes to provide additional comment? I see Dr. Mehta with their hand raised. So if you would.
Yes,
Like-
thank you. Yeah, thank you again. I spoke earlier. I just wanted to clarify whether you guys had touched on the migraine recommendations again, if there were any updates to the step therapy language.
They were accepted as they were presented.
Okay, just want to, I don't know if it'd be fair to ask for a rationale on that based on the 2.3 in the PI, where you cannot substitute for the individual components.
Sure. So both formulations of meloxicam are available, the tablet and the capsule. So while we recognize the tablet does have a little bit longer of a Tmax, it's about 4 or 4.5 hours. The capsule only has a Tmax of about 2 hours. So while there is about an hour difference there, the second session with the cost review, I think the committee would agree, have deemed that a worthy trial first to see, and then see where that leads.
Okay. I'll
Certainly
just
open it
note,
up to the-
yeah, and I'll just note, and then I'll certainly respect the committee's opinion there. Obviously, Mosaic meloxicam is not available, commercially. That time to max concentration is about 1 hour from the typical 5 hours. Obviously, that's important when we talk about migraine, in terms of, again, the prostaglandin piece of it. So can appreciate the comments though.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? For Dr. Mena?
Okay, all right. I think there is last item is other business.
Any other business from the committee today?
What I would probably offer regarding the opioid overutilization, that we may want to consider doing an annual attestation regarding opioid and benzodiazepine concurrent therapy.
For all those that are already in therapy concurrently.
Correct. Right. So rather than give them sort of a continuous exception, require an annual, which I don't think is going to be excessively burdensome. And it'll be a gentle reminder.
So, yeah, that's what I was just gonna ask. So how we would do this attestation is, how did you say, Courtney?
The risks associated with concurrent use that they're attempting to.
Evaluated. Okay. Thank you. Yep. Okay.
Mr. Ross, can I also get you to provide the mental health language and Dr. Ott joining the committee for this
Yeah.
session as well?
I think something on the spot, I'm trying just a second. I need to do some.
Since we didn't officially welcome her. We'll officially welcome her in the final section.
It just seems like I'm ever present, so why would you think of it, right?
I often think about you being omnipresent.
No, that's not what I said. That is
Now
not
she
what I
is.
said.
Trying to make it super official already.
Well, you know. Okay. The legislation was, in one, I'm sorry, that was House Bill 1001, enrolled. So it basically removed sections of, from 1215 1.3-6. And if you want, I can just include that in the minutes. But it just removed prohibitions for PA criteria around preference from sections, several sections. I see 12, 15, 35, 20-5, and 35-28. And we were really good about promotions, and 35-51. About, and that's what really impacted you guys is the adding of the a representative from the MHQAC to the T committee. And then there was other 35.5-3 and 35.5-7. So there were several sections that we had to go in and kind of make sure this all worked together. So I will include that for her to add to the minutes. And if there's any questions.
And because of that, we added,
Because of
Doctor.
that, yes, we had to add a representative from the MH3C. There's no specification, it's just a representative. And Dr. Ott volunteered herself I know she said that she didn't seem like she wanted to be, but she actually did want to be a part of this. And we think that she would be a fantastic addition. So the proposal was brought to the DOR board again, and they voted to put her on the D committee. So she'll be on there just like everybody else, voting just like everybody else, but she will definitely be much more involved in the discussions when we start to roll out the mental health quality or the mental health drugs, essentially, which I think, are we going to start soliciting bids this month sometime
Yeah.
from
so the next meeting.
manufacturers? Yeah,
Yeah, they-
we have some areas that we think are likely going to be hitters, but I don't want to just bring them up just in case we might be wrong in them and missing some others. So you all will see them as they come out in the next committee meeting.
Welcome, Dr. Ott.
Thanks, much appreciated.
Yeah. And thank you.
She's achieved the elusive trifecta now.
Yes, she is. She is, again, she is everywhere. Omnipresent.
Ever present, not omni. There's a difference.
Yeah. But no, it'll be good to have you on board, Dr. Ott.
Thanks.
All right. Any further discussions today? All right, I'll go ahead and call the third session to a close. Everyone have a great rest of the summer. Enjoy the state fair, Gen Con, whatever your preference.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Thank you.